Well, good evening, everybody, and happy Halloween. I hope everyone's had an enjoyable last day of October and are anxiously looking forward to the 1st of November. Anyhow, in keeping with the spirit of the day, I thought I would try to relate something scary that happened to me once, many years ago. And this is a true story, and I just thought somebody might find it interesting out there. So this event happened to me about 15 to 18 years ago. I don't have the exact date, but where I used to work on the south shore of Kingston, our office was right on the same property as the local Kingston Psychiatric Hospital. And part of that area also included the old Rockwood Asylum, as it was known. Now in 2000, the year 2000, the Rockwood Asylum closed its doors for good. It would take no more patients or hold no more patients. These were basically people that were deemed to be fairly mentally disturbed, quite strongly, criminally, that type of thing. So some fairly rough customers, I guess. But anyhow, as I said, in 2000, those doors were closed for good, after which time it would hold no more patients. It actually started holding patients in the late 1800s, I believe. During the time that I worked down in that area, I would frequently go for jogs at lunchtime just to get some exercise, because my job was predominantly a desk job for the most part, at least through the winter months. So I liked to jog around the grounds. They were beautiful grounds. A lot of these old buildings were not really used much anymore, or they were used by other people as offices, some of them. And then I could also run around the Kingston Psychiatric Hospital, which had a ring road around it, and the Lake Ontario Park Trail from our office over to Lake Ontario Park. So anyhow, I really enjoyed walking and running around that area over all those years I worked down there. Anyhow, one day, just like many other days, I went jogging at noon, and not far from the start of my jog, I head south to the Lakeshore Trail, and in doing so, I go by this Rockwood Asylum. And there had been stories already that I'd heard of in the past about possible haunting or spiritual events that people would note there sometimes. Anyhow, on this particular day, I was just running by the building, not even paying attention to it, just looking along the shoreline at the shoreline trail. And as I went by, I heard a scream, and it sounded like it was from up in the upper stories of this building. It's a large 4-story old limestone building, and I was certain I heard a scream, so I stopped, and I looked up through the windows that I could see, and some of them are boarded up, or a lot of them are boarded up, I believe, if I remember correctly, and some seem to be unboarded. But I checked out the windows as closely as I could, and I didn't see anything, and I didn't hear anything else, but I remained certain that I heard a scream that day when I ran by there. Here's where I heard the scream from the window that day so many years ago now, when I was jogging out here at lunch one day. Somewhere up there. And obviously now, as the years have passed, I start to question my own mind. Did I really hear something, or did I imagine it? But I'm pretty certain that I did hear something, and it sounded like it was from the upper floors of that building. Anyhow, it really left me with some goosebumps for the remainder of that day, and ever since I remember that event quite clearly. And I do wonder what it could have been. Was I hearing somebody scream somewhere else, and I just felt like it came from up there? Or did I really hear something supernatural screaming from the top area of that building? We'll never know. I'll never know. But I just thought I'd relate that on Halloween. And if you have any scary stories you'd like to share with me and the other viewers, we'd be keen to read them. I'm not a person necessarily that strongly believes in the supernatural or the afterlife or whatever you want to call it. but I don't discount the possibility that something like that might exist. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this story on Halloween. Goodbye. And good night, everybody. Sleep tight, everybody.